Hey, how you doing? This is DJ. I need you to just bear with me. I'm going to be breaking down the whole concept of the ideal premium buyer, so you could really understand this and look at how you can implement it. But I need you to bear with me very quickly because I was having a few challenges trying to set this up on my computer, and it was really playing up. So I've set it up here on my phone, but I need to get the links and I've got to share it with the community. So just bear with me as I figure out how on earth I'm gonna do that. All right, so let's see. Um, so help me because this is a bit insane as I try to work this out and at the same time, share this with you. So bear with me for about a minute as I get my head around this, but I promise you this is going to be well worth it for you. All right. Oh, brilliant. Here we go. Okay, no, that's not it. Okay, I think I will be there very, very soon. Okay, all right, all right. So where do I find the link to share? Where do I find the link to share? Oh, there we go. Copy link. And hey, and welcome back. And this is DJ. And I'm really so excited that you put up with that. But thankfully, we're here. And what it is I want to talk about is really critical. It's really essential. And that's understanding the concept of the ideal premium buyer. Now, the thing is, for a lot of people, unfortunately, and when we try to do this, we don't really do it right. So when we hear ideal premium buyer for some particular reason, our brains switch to who would benefit from using our services. And it's a big challenge for those of us who work in our space as coaches, consultants, or you provide any sort of service. We tend to think of end users. Why? Because, well, they're the ones who use our products. They're the ones who use our services. But what you've got to understand is this: there is a difference between user and buyer. The buyer does not necessarily have to be the user, but when you start thinking premium buyer rather than the person who would benefit the most from using a product, because they're two different things. A person may benefit the most from using a product, but that does not mean that they will be most motivated to buy it. And that does not also mean that they would appreciate it enough to invest in it. And it also doesn't mean that they have more at stake if that thing is not purchased, right? And so the buyer's motivation is usually very different from a user's motivation. One. The second thing is um, different buyers have different capacities. So when you're looking at a premium buyer, it's the person who is more likely to invest more in the solution that you bring to the marketplace. And so if you really are going to nail this, you want to make sure that you're approaching this with this understanding, because this is where a lot of us get it wrong, is we're so focused on the people we want to help that we don't understand um, that what's most important here at this stage is the people who are going to buy from you. So there's those who are going to buy, and then there's those who are going to help. Sometimes they may be the same person, sometimes they may not. But the key thing is you need to focus on buyers and not users. Let me give you an example. Supposing, right, you have a software, right? So you have a software that you provide, and let's say it's a time management software for, so you have this really amazing time management software that's absolutely brilliant. Everybody who uses it loves it, and it really, really helps them to be more efficient with their time. People who are overwhelmed with so many activities, they've tried so many things and they haven't worked, but your software has made a difference. Now, what happens for many people is we start thinking, who will benefit the most from using this software? Right? Now, instead of asking who would benefit the most from using this software, we should ask a different question. What is the question? Who would benefit the most from buying this software? Right? Especially a premium buyer. So if you so who would benefit the most from spending a lot of money on this software? That's actually a better question. Who would benefit the most from spending a lot of money or investing a lot of money in this software? Not who would benefit the most from using it, right? That's customer service, that's a customer focused question, right? But actually, who would benefit the most from investing a lot in this software. Now, just by asking that question, so the person who is user centric would start thinking about, mothers who are very busy, but at the same time, maybe have a family, and that's who they start targeting, and that's who they target with their software because they think these mothers would benefit from using the software, right? Because that's just the way their brains work. Now, some other person thinks, well, who would benefit from a time management software? And they just think, what about companies, right, who have 1,000 employees or more, or maybe 500 employees or more, or even 200 employees or more, right? But companies who have a lot of employees, right? Um, who now? Why would they ask that question? Especially if it's a personal software. It's not a corporate software. It's a personal software. Now, you may think, well, but why? Well, the thing is, understanding that if there's an organization who has 200, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 employees, right? Employee engagement, right, is a key thing, right? So you may say companies who actually are looking at, who care about their employee engagement, right, and who have X number of employees or more, whose employees could benefit from using this particular software, for example. Now, let's say hypothetically, right, the software is sold on the market for $150. Maybe you sell it for $150. I don't know. So it's $150 market rate for this software, right? Now, what you could do is basically identify who are the benefits, staff benefits department within that business and go up to them with this package and offer. So remember, you got to have your premium offer. Say, hey, we have this program, this software that really helps people to be more efficient with their time so they can be more productive at work and as well as in their personal lives. Now, we have the software going for $150. That's the market rate. However, we want to do something, we want to offer this to you as an organization where the list price is 150. We don't sell it anywhere else for less than 150. Nowhere else. However, for your company, what we're going to do is we're going to offer it to you, right, for $35, and we ask you to offer it to your staff for $50, which basically is you can say to them that you've been able to negotiate a deal with us to get our software, which is $150, for $50. So they're excited and motivated because you've been able to negotiate a good deal for them for a software that would benefit them a great deal, right? But you also so there's a lot of goodwill you earn from that, from this amazing software. And, like we said, there's $100 difference that they're benefiting. So basically, as a company, you have given them $100. You've also given them a great software that would help them be more efficient with their time, which would not just impact on their personal life, but also on their work life as well. Da, 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 da. So you then package that pitch, take it to this organization, and they push it out to their staff of 1,000. So they push it out to their staff of 1,000, and maybe 300 of their staff take it up, right? So that's 300 people who spend the $35 with you. I don't know how much that is. That's about whatever it is, right? So $10,000 or something, right? I don't know, right? Off of that, just that one client, that one buyer triggered that. But not only that, if you look at the ripple effect, you now have 300 end users who are going to be using your product, and they will brag about it, talk about it, share it with their friends, which means that it would basically, from a marketing perspective, it will help to attract more buyers. Now, compare that with the other individual who is going, after chasing mothers and trying to convince them to buy this software for $150 and all of that. One person's focused on user, the other person's focused on buyer. Who would benefit the most from investing a lot in my solution? Let's use another example, right, which might really align with some of you. Maybe You love working with young people. You have a passion to work with teenagers, right? You really care about teenagers, and you really want to help them, in the area of personal growth and personal development. Is something that you're very, very particular about, which is great, right? So now what you do, though, is what you're doing is you're reaching out to young people and you're trying to get them to attend your seminars, right? And then maybe some of you are saying, well, maybe we can approach the parents, right? But why don't you just step back a little bit and say, actually, right? Let's look at a bigger picture. Who would benefit the most, right, from investing a lot in our solution, which is helping young people develop, and personal development? Well, personal development would usually mean a better individual, which would mean better behaved, so there's more value to the family, more value to the schools and the educational system, more value to society, because that means that, youth crime and all that is reduced, and the benefits you can bring to society. You start thinking governments, local governments, right? So maybe what you do is you identify what local governments would benefit from investing a lot in the solutions we bring, which is reductions in youth crime and that sort of thing within their own local areas. And so what you then do is package offers, right? So your ideal premium buyer would be local governments. And so identify who you should work with. And again, it's just packaging your offers. But this is a solution. We're helping young people with the personal development skills that help them be more productive members of society. But your ideal premium buyer is not the young people. It's not even their parents, right? It's actually government, right? So you're now saying we need to identify within government the departments who are responsible for this and package offers, right? Package ideal offers, right? That would help us to be able to go in, be able to get the full beliefs in place, because when they believe, they buy. The key thing here that I'm trying to share here, and I hope this has helped a little bit to just begin to shape your thinking, right? You've got to think premium buyers. The challenge with us is we so want to help people. We're focused on helping them, which is good, that we also now want to sell to them. You don't need to sell to them to help them. Now, sometimes your premium buyer could be the end user, and that's cool, right? So how do you know if the premium buyer could be the end user? Well, if you've done the work on identifying your premium buyer and you've crafted your premium offer, right? You've crafted your ideal premium offer. The question is, that person, would they have a problem investing the money in that solution? If the answer is yes, then they're not your ideal premium buyer, or your offer is really just too expensive. Right? So you've got to know that what you want to make sure is, if your offer is ideal for them, money should not be an object, ideally. Right? That's why they're ideal, right? If money would be an object, then there is a problem. They are not your ideal premium buyer, a good potential buyer, right? But with an ideal premium buyer, it's a person where when you have that conversation, where they get to the point where they're excited and want to work with you and want to invest, money should not be an object. Right. So if you're looking to work with young people and you're packaging a program for even $200, it's probably going to be too much. But when you sit down with, your local government and you package a program where, all right, it's $10,000 a month, right? It may not be a big problem. Do you get where I'm coming from? Even though it's the same work you're doing. So your ideal premium buyer is a person who ideally would not balk at the price of your premium offer. That's a critical thing. So think about that, be aware of that, and make sure as you do what you do, you consider this. All right. So hope this has been very useful for you. Go ahead and leave your thoughts, leave your questions, and I will answer. But I just hope that you can take this with you and use this as you begin to shape, identify your ideal premium buyers, but also as you begin to package your offers. All right. So go ahead and do this. And I look forward to celebrating your success stories. You need help, you need support. You're looking at working with me. Well, if you're thinking, DJ, I really want to work, I need to work with you one on one. That's fine. Connect and we'll look at how we can make that happen for you. All right. How do I